450 days. That's how long it's been, with some rough napkin math, since I last played Fallout 76. And it is still the rock-solid, perfectly running, bug-free experience I remember. Yep, nothing as basic as my own character not showing up in a photo mode is broken here after 18 months of patches and alleged fixes. Perfectly fine. I don't call them Bugfesta for nothing. I've jumped back in today because with the Wastelanders expansion hitting tomorrow, I wanted to make an effort to refamiliarize myself with the game and get caught up perhaps on what some of the more recent patches have introduced. Turns out I've forgotten almost all of the useful mechanics and whatnot. I forgot that I never even bothered to finish the core quest. I forgot that I never even got to level 50. I can barely remember the controls. I've forgotten what my loadout was supposed to be like and what I was heading towards, and with what I was doing with my build and the annoying perk card system, which apparently still doesn't have a saved preset loadout switcher. That's right. Which means it is exactly as stupid and clumsy and slow and inconvenient and awful as it was on day one, and I'm still angry about it all over again. Jesus. Hello again, I am Blunty. A new supposedly big deal update looms for Fallout 76, the game that took Bethesda from gamer darling to seeping rectum wound in the eyes of most gamers. It is of course called the Wastelanders expansion, and it has a bunch of under-the-hood changes and map changes and brings actual human NPCs, one of the original complaint points for long-time Fallout fans when the game first came out without them. No humans to talk to, no branching dialogue. It's not a Fallout game without that, really, is it? This expansion also brings the game to Steam at long last, so yeah, hooray for that, I guess. The story of Wastelanders is set in 2103, 1 year after the opening of Vault 76. New human survivors are coming back to and arriving in Appalachia from other areas in search of a rumored treasure. There'll be factions. That's right, a Fallout game with factions, imagine that. There'll be settlers and raiders, and you got to pick a side, and there's a reputation system with each one of them, and companions are coming too, although I think they're being called something different this time. There's even some romance options with these companions, and they can even stay at your camp. A new storyline with branching dialogue and quests. Old locations are getting a repolish as members of various factions move into them, and a revamped original main quest to wrap around the new content for new players, or those who choose to restart with a fresh character. Although apparently the meat of the new content is level locked until level 20. So if you are a lapsed player coming back to it and you never bothered to get past level 20 even, you still got some work to do ahead of you before you can enjoy the new stuff. And of course, as is expected with updates like this, there'll be new weapons, new armor, new enemies, new activities. They're all along for the ride. All in all, it's an effort to make this Fallout game actually feel like a Fallout game, not just look like one and kind of smell like one, if you're downwind a bit. So I just played about 3 hours of the game. That's the gameplay you're looking at, by the way, as it stands today. The last 10 hours or so pre-Wastelanders update. And I gotta tell you, playing it today, the game, it really does feel like nothing of worth has actually changed in those 450 days since I last booted the damn thing up. While you ponder that, why not go and check if you've rung the bell to make sure you get alerted when I make new videos. Pop a comment in the down below about your hopes, expectations, or utter and complete indifference to Bethesda's latest desperate lunge at not completely burning down one of gaming's most beloved franchises. I'm not going to dig into fine-grained detail of exactly what this update is supposedly bringing. Chances are, if you're genuinely interested, you've been reading and watching vids about it already, so I'm not going to retread it, but I will link down below to an absolutely superb 2.5 hour long full-on video essay many a true nerd published about a year ago, breaking down in exquisite detail how Fallout 76 was such a miserable embarrassment and how he thinks it could have been fixed. Might make some interesting context for comparing what he said should have been done to what is being done. But today, Fallout 76, a more derided online RPG game you'll struggle to find in the modern era. Released on the 14th of November 2018, it was very quickly exposed as a completely on-fire garbage pile of such ineptitude, deliberate deceit, corporate scumbaggery, developer incompetence, and consumer abusive trash, it literally became a joke. It's still a joke today. Pretty funny joke too. Unless, of course, you were one of the people who paid money for it. And all that's without getting into the crap around the actual game, like the infamous lie of the collector's edition duffel bag. The helmet from said edition of the game still adorns my shelf, now referred to only as the Helm of Buyer's Remorse. It is a reminder to be forever untrusting of Bethesda, and every developer even remotely like them. But I did really want to like Fallout 76. It's a franchise I enjoy. It's a world I enjoy. And the mix of exploration and questing and crafting and survival elements it offered up was appealing. In my personal time, on live streams and here on YouTube, I gave it far more time and benefit of the doubt than many did. And I copped a fair amount of flack for sticking with it for so long too. Much like No Man's Sky, I tried to endure the launch catastrophes, latched onto the hope that it'd be fixed because I felt like there was the bones of a good game waiting. I think in the end, I gave the game somewhere close to 100 hours of actual playtime. The only reason I know this, the Bethesda launcher doesn't keep track of your playtime, but there is an achievement in-game for playing 76 hours, and I did play more than that. But I wound up giving up on the game somewhere around the third or fourth big patch, I think. It became very clear that Bethesda couldn't or wouldn't listen to the player base, and if they responded to players' wants and needs at all, it was in a broken, badly implemented half measure that didn't actually solve the issue at hand, but just moved the problem laterally a little bit. Not to mention the broken promises about leaving pay for advancement or advantage items out of the microtransaction store. That's right, it's not just cosmetics, and it hasn't been for quite some time now. You can literally just pay for repair kits. I have very little hope that Wastelanders will fix the game. I think its cancerous issues might just be too deeply rooted to ever cut out completely, or even avoid the shadow of. I'm going to give Wastelanders a try. And I'm going in with as an open mind as I can manage, given Bethesda's history of ineptitude, betrayal, and lies around this game. I mean, after all, I already paid for the damn thing, overpaid for the damn thing, by the way, by a very wide margin, as I am reminded every time I glance over at the Helm of Buyer's Remorse. But I'm going in with low expectations. That way, if it's just more Bethesda bullshit, I cannot be disappointed because I was expecting that. However, if it is good, it'll mean I get a nice surprise, and that's always pleasant. But this morning, playing the base game as it stands today, I did some crafting, I did some side questing, I did some exploration, I joined in on a couple of multiplayer group events, both big and small, including a nuke drop, and it all just feels the same as it did. 29 patches since it launched in November of 2018, and it still feels janky. I still saw basic bugs and glitches that any other game would have patched out long ago. I still felt lag in the UI. The UI itself is still a clattering, clumsy mess that feels like it was stapled together from 3 different games, which, to be fair, it kind of literally was. But maybe, just maybe, Wastelanders and the overhaul it has been promising will not only make this game feel more like an actual Fallout game, but will at long last make it actually feel like a good game, a stable game, a game that isn't distractingly broken in every corner you look at. Because for every stupid little issue, or bug, or UI annoyance, or performance hitch, and this was played on my Ryzen 5 6-core CPU with an RTX 2060, and I still saw performance hitches from this 2018 game. Idiotic, no excuses. But all of that aside, I did still find it oddly satisfying being back in this world, just pottering about. I did, in fact, play for longer than I'd planned on. I thought I was going to play for an hour, hour and a half max, just to refamiliarize myself with the controls and basic sort of construction of the game. But a few hours later, I did in fact have to force myself to stop so I could get on and record my feelings about it and edit this video together. There's still something about this game that I want to soak into. I just hope Wastelanders makes it tolerable to do so. Because right now, I know in the back of my heart, if I had kept playing today, I would have gotten bored, or I would have gotten fed up with it, and I would just stop playing it, and I would never go back if it wasn't for the promise of Wastelanders. So, this time tomorrow, am I going to be disappointed? Am I going to be happy? Find out soon enough, I guess. Good luck, everybody. Thanks for watching. I am Blunty, and I will catch you next time. And a special thank you to my patrons scrolling above there.